Okay, we will call this meeting of the Natrona County Parks Advisory Board to session. Today is Thursday, May 9th, 2024. First item, can we have a roll call, please?
Rob Hill, present.
Jim Miller, present.
Doug Irvin, present.
Cordell Wistison, present.
Crystal Bradfield, present.
Michael Brown, present.
Okay, could you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up is the approval of the prior meeting minutes. Do I have any motions to that effect? So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Hey, we approved the prior meeting minutes. Next, we're on to reports from the Parks Director, Michael.
Okay, first off, I want to remind everybody that there's going to be a public meeting on the Mountain Road construction next Tuesday at 5:30 at the Ag Building down by the fairgrounds. I'll be in attendance as well to answer any questions about recreation on the mountain during the construction phase. The Casper Mountain Trail Center construction is progressing. I'm surprised they're working today, as I just found out, due to all the snow. We did get a contractual adjustment or proposed adjustment for adding 3 days of time to it from the previous snowstorm. So, but they are progressing. Hopefully they'll be pouring the spread footers in the next week or two, depending on the weather. The building has been delivered, and quite a bit of the material for the overall site work is on site now. Again, a reminder that all camping on Casper, all county, park county camping is closed on Casper Mountain for this summer season. With that, that's due to the road construction, and my staff will be working on site improvements for the campsites at Bear Trap and possibly Deer Haven throughout the summer to accommodate larger campers, make access a little bit easier, and try to do some level work. So again, camping's closed there. The BLM is keeping their camping open on Muddy Mountain, but expect significant delays if you're coming up the front of the mountain, and we're suggesting anybody that wants to camp at Muddy Mountain to go around 487 and come in the backside of Circle Drive to get there. So on grant applications, there was a Wyoming Outdoor Rec grant application that was due. I submitted one for the bear trap shelters and campsite work. That was not awarded. However, and then the Platte River Gun Club submitted a grant application for the gun range out at Poison Spider area. That one was not awarded, but we did receive a $100,000 grant for improvements at Hell's Half Acre that Amanda Sewell, previously with Visit Casper, had applied for us.
So the Hell's Half Acre one was from the same batch?
Same batch, yes.
Okay.
Did
Just,
they give you some?
Well, they only had,
it was a small.
statewide, they
lot,
only had
wasn't
like $1.7 million from Wyoming Tourism. And so it got spread pretty thin across the state. There was quite a few applications. Hell's Half Acre was in the low to mid range of the max of 500,000. The campgrounds and the shelters, obviously, I asked for $500,000. So that's probably why it didn't make it.
Michael, one question on the camping. I noticed that the Ultra Running Society is going to have a race up there this summer, and they indicated they get an okay to run at the biathlon area and camp.
Yes.
Just how that's going to affect
So.
If it's gonna affect it at all.
It shouldn't affect it at all. It could be potential time delays to get to that event, but, I spoke with Justin Kenner when he was submitting those and I strongly suggested he contact the biathlon club and see if they could use their facilities, cause that parking won't be obstructed and they could have their stop there. I don't think he's figured out the course yet. But with the way Struby Loop may be a detour and everything else going on, parking and whatnot, that was basically the only venue that would really work on the mountain this summer. So Fat Fish Racing has relocated all of their events this summer. They will be up assisting with some trail work on some trail days, but yeah, I think it's just a 307 running. It's the only one that has an event up there this year.
Okay.
I spoke with Kelly Walsh Athletics about their cross-country meet. It's held in August, right before school starts, and they always take up Bear Trap Meadow. They're looking into that. They're gonna relocate someplace else because I mentioned the biathlon club and discussing it with the club there about using that, but at a minimum, just the schools within Casper, they have 6 buses. So the parking at biathlon's not gonna accommodate the number of people. So they're looking for alternate areas to hold the event. So I hope they find something. If you guys have ideas of where they could do that at, definitely let Lance over at KW know. So the bear trap shelter bids came back. We received 2 bids. I am working on having a discussion with the county commissioners. The budget that I was approved was $120,000. I don't have the exact numbers, but the low bid was $100,000 more than that, just for one shelter. So, I'm looking at alternatives, for design, looking at where we may be able to decrease the cost of the bidded design, but I don't think we're gonna come up with $100,000. When I was looking over the, kits and my tabulations and costs back in 21, one of those popped out and it was $130,000 for the kit. And that was in 2021. That didn't include concrete or ADA parking or any other grading. So, we'll see where that goes. Probably have some discussions with them, maybe at the next work session. I'm trying to get a memo put together with some suggested alternatives that might be more economical. And then obviously the other bid was significantly higher than the low bid, almost twice. So, yeah. So if you guys have any grand ideas of how we could put a shelter up there for, you know, little to no money, that would be great.
With that large of a bid difference, I would strongly recommend trying to contact some of the single source design build firms, like the one I forwarded you that Cheyenne used. They might be able to give us an all-in that is more, at least maybe more realistic. I don't know, but I think design build firms, rather than having separate contractors, might be able to bring down some costs. But I don't know. But
Yeah.
if we've got that much and we only had 2 bids, it probably wouldn't hurt to
So
reach out and say, hey,
we
what's a
had-
ballpark?
We had 4 contractors show up for the pre-bid meeting, and we had 2 that delivered bids.
Yeah.
So, the lake update, my staff is just still doing general maintenance, spring cleaning. We've got pipes that broke over the winter, in the bathhouses that we're getting taken care of. automatic drains on those lines aren't a quality design, so they didn't really work. So we're putting some corrections to that so we don't have this type of breakage next year. I have 2 job offers out. Actually, I have two folks that I've offered the jobs to, and they're going through the background checks for my seasonal caretakers. And then I have one more position to fill for that, and I've got some calls into that, and I'm gonna meet talk with another individual next week, which he may be the third staff we get on board. So ramping up for the season. Again, all the lot rents out at Alcova for cabins, trailers, and clubs are due May 19th. Right now, we're probably about 36% paid, and we've got 10 days to go. So they're trickling in. Had a lot of response on the Bureau Rec dock reviews for the cabins. I'm collecting everybody's concerns. They're having their annual cabin owner meeting on Monday night. I've been invited to attend, and I'm gonna go.
Glutton for punishment, aren't you?
Well, I think if I can speak to them as a large group, maybe I can get them to understand where we're at and how I'm trying to meet in the middle between the Bureau Rec and them, and where I'm at right now on collecting everybody's concerns about what the Bureau Rec's requiring, because Bureau Rec's requiring no portable items to be on their docks unless they're in attendance, and it's considered abandoned property after 24 hours. Obviously, I don't have the staff to even check to see if that's going on. And some of these docks have 6 flights of stairs to get to the dock. So having to carry your chairs, your coolers, everything down each time, your paddle boards, your kayaks, all of that, doesn't seem realistic. Now, there are other parts where the cabin owners they're permitted a lot for their cabin and they're permitted a dock, but there is a area of ground between the lots and the docks that is not part of their lot, and that's due to the requirement of the Bureau Rec to be able to handle flood waters to a certain vertical elevation. And so we have sheds on that piece of ground. We have gazebos on that piece of ground. Some of this stuff's been there 30 years. Your rec wants it gone. So we're working on that process.
Quick question on that, Michael. So we have existing like storage boxes, things like that. Where do I know there's sheds, but like
So yeah,
what does the Bureau of Rec want? What's acceptable to them for anything out there other than the dock?
so if a storage box was put on the dock prior to 2016, it's grandfathered in. If you rebuild your dock now, you get no storage space on there. So basically, they want a blank dock, and they want a blank shoreline to basically remove the perception of it being private property, because it's public, it's federal property. And so there's a culture out there. Some of those cabins have been there 50, 70 years, and the Bureau Rec has started to take a stance, and it's not just here, it's at Lake Minotaur and other places, to where you're allowed a limited use. And so what I'm trying to do is get it to where the dock owners can keep their portable items on their dock for the summer. Any paddle boards and kayaks and things that are stored on the shore right now would have to be stored on their dock. So that's kind of the meet in the middle deal. But also, there's a lot of records that I'm missing, so I don't know if a gazebo that was built 30 years ago up on the hillside outside of a lot boundary is permissible or not, or was approved at any time, but the Bureau Rec stance is it needs to be removed.
Quick,
And even if it was approved, so,
so quick follow-up to that. So if somebody works on their dock after 2016, like what do they consider like a substantial,
so if you're gonna redeck, like resurface your dock,
then you
and
lose
you
your
have to remove
box?
that shed to do it, you don't get to put your shed back. So,
Wouldn't, I was gonna say, wouldn't that hinder people from upgrading?
quite possibly, yeah.
Okay,
And really, this compliance review that we did, my major focus and intent was, general cleanup. We don't want trash, we don't want things blowing around, and safety issues. I mean, there was an electrical issue on one dock that was concerned. There was substructure that's rotted completely out. There's collapsed docks, collapsed stairs. So that's what the major focus was, and we have about 10 of those that are getting corrected. But, the Bureau Rec was also concerned about portable storage and following the permits and whatnot. So, that was also brought up. Dock numbering, which is a minor thing. Most people are happy to do that. Over the years, it's changed. It used to be have your cabin number and your dock number on there. Now it's just the dock number. And we want a reflective number, 4 inches on the right side, right finger as you're facing the shore on the face. So if emergency management has to approach for some issue from the water, they can see that dock number. So if somebody calls and says, we got a medical emergency at cabin dock number 65, and they can quickly assess where that is, either from the shore or from the lake. So, so there's a couple things like that, yeah.
Did BOR plan on meeting or coming to that meeting?
No. So,
That's too bad.
yeah. So, but right now I'm in the information collection process of figuring out, trying to figure out where we can maybe get some of these things changed, adjusted. But again, as I tell a lot of people, we have a landowner, the federal government. We have a landlord, Natrona County. And we have a tenant, the cabin owners. So when the landowner tells the landlord to implement something, it has to work down and be implemented. So we're the landlord, and I'm looking at it and saying, this is excessive. How can we come back? But I need the backing of the tenant before I go approach the landowner. Couple other things I have. There's been no traction yet on the proposed parks rules and camping fee increases at legal and commissioner level. I think it's being, final reviews by legal is being done right now. And then hopefully in the next 2 weeks to a month, we'll start having that discussion in public meetings and get it advertised for comment and all of that. I have been involved with a trail charrette with Wyoming Pathways, or the planning of a trail charrette. That'll be held June 6th at the pump house. I think it's 3 in the afternoon. It's on the Wyoming Pathway site. The charrette is to kind of get the public feedback on some proposed trails from Harry Yesness down to Mike Cedar. In that area, what I'm involved with, in a sense, is there's a group that's interested in putting some trails along Fremont Canyon to Pathfinder, and then some other trails over in the Cottonwood Black Beach area, hiking, biking trails. And then The third one, I believe, is called Rimrock. It's a BLM parcel just west of the Oregon Trail neighborhood. And possibly doing something there. So it's basically chance to get public input. People are gonna put dots on a map and make some comments as, you know, what the public would like to see, maybe further proceed further. So that, I've been involved with that for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months now. And, I turned in my budgets, at the end of April, they were due. May 22nd is the budget hearing for parks. I believe it's at, 1 o'clock. I can email that to you guys. So that'll be coming up. And I think that's about all I have, unless there's some other questions.
Any board questions for Michael? No, I don't believe so. Okay, so after that, we are on to public comments. Would any of our illustrious public like to come up and comment?
You might recognize me from your last meeting. I'm Sheila Delahars, and I had presented to you.
Let's get the mic on, sorry.
Thank you. Again, my name is Sheila Delahars, and I was here last month and presented to you about the concerns that me and some others have regarding the camping reservation system, as well as the increase in the camping fees. And I sent an email out, but a lot of it kicked back to me, so I didn't know if you had received it, but I did bring the packet in person to deliver for those that didn't receive it. And so I'm happy to hand that out from my last meeting. I had a question. You mentioned that there's going to be a public meeting in a couple weeks. Will that be posted on the website, or how do we know when that will be?
Yeah, so once legal is done with their review, they will get it on the, probably the work session with the county commissioners.
Okay,
And so that's the first and third Tuesday afternoon every month, and they usually have the agenda out the Friday before.
oh, okay,
So it'll be listed on there, what they're discussing.
perfect,
But
thank
I
you.
don't know if that's gonna be in 2 weeks or if it's gonna be next month.
Just keep an eye on their website then.
You know,
Yeah.
at this point in time with budgets happening in June and July, that may be pushed till the end of July, so, but I'm not sure yet. So,
Okay.
And I'll try and email you when I know.
Okay, great, thank you very much. So I just came today just to deliver this to you guys because I just didn't know if anybody received my emails, and I just had a question about the public meeting, so I had others that wanted to attend today, but they weren't able to, so I'll let them know about that meeting coming up.
Okay.
Okay,
So we did receive it.
Yes.
oh, good.
It was
Okay.
forwarded to us.
Oh,
May
thank you.
3rd.
Yeah, I received it
Okay.
because I think you tried to email it and then you sent it to me, and I finally got it out on the 3rd to everybody.
Okay,
so-
no, thank you.
I'd appreciate a hard copy though, please.
I would
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
I read better that way.
It's on top, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is all I had, so,
Oh, thank you.
thank you.
Any general board comments?
Just relaying some communication. There'll be a new teacher next year at Pathways, and I think the school district is committed to helping out with a Hell's Half Acre project.
Yeah, we actually had a meeting, was it last week, Jim?
Yeah.
with Kelly Estes, and the new principal and the new instructor. Talked about some of that, a little bit in the plan, so I think they're waiting for approval from higher up. you know,
I think it
just-
was
form-
approved, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I did talk with the new instructor a little bit. I said, if they're looking for maybe field trips or something, as this lodge progresses in the fall, that might be something that we could take some of the students up to see that construction site and the building as it progresses along, because I think, that'd be beneficial to some of the students.
Any other board comments? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.